Hey everyone! Welcome back. I am back today with more of the Promised Neverland, you guys. I cannot wait to see what is going to happen. This season has been blowing my mind so far. If you're joining me early today, you already know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm sending you up those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, wow, guys, last time on Promised Neverland, we got quite a bit, actually. Quite a bit of info, but it still leaves a lot of questions in my mind about the specifics. For example, we learned that despite some really good theories, which were so good that they even had like honorable mention in the episode of like, is this really Earth? Is the year right? Etc. The actual scenario is that we are currently in the demon side of the world, and there is a human side of the world, but the two have not interacted in any way in a very, very long time. So it really leaves me wondering, is the human side of the world like supposed to be our world, this universe that you and I are all in right now, not like the one we're in on the show. But is it supposed to be, and the demons are just like, you know, humans will have kind of forgotten that, or it has not been passed down, and like there's just no awareness of it? Or is it like a different universe, you know, unique to this show, where there is a knowledge of the presence of the demons? Because we did find out that, which I was kind of afraid of. I don't know if I ever said it, but I kind of had this in the back of my mind from the beginning that like, what if the humans kind of like made a sort of deal, you know, we'll give you this many kids for your farm in exchange for like our lives or whatever. And we found out it was an exchange for basically, you know, peace from the violence that was occurring between the two peoples. So, if someone brought up a good point, who is here first, the humans or the demons? I wonder if they'll get into that. There's a lot of questions about William Minerva. The pen that we saw originally, you know, the scene we saw it in, it sure looked like, you know, perhaps one of the people in the lab coats that was talking in that scene had dropped the pen, leading us to believe that maybe William Minerva has something to do with the training facility or something. So is he in the demon world, or is he in the human world? Was he in the demon world? Is he now in the human world? We know we're going to the human world, kind of against all odds here. So there's a lot of questions. Like we got some answers, which was awesome, but they certainly have not forfeited any of the high level of mystery of the show. In my opinion, there's still a whole lot more to kind of discover and find out along the way. Emma, we got some really great stuff in general, just like the other kids scolding Emma and Ray, which I loved. I love that they got a little bit more of like a character spotlight of like how they feel when all this crazy stuff is going on, and how attached they are, and their love for Emma and Ray, and their need for them to just kind of like not do anything like crazy and reckless to get themselves killed. Like, we need them, you know. But we also got Emma, I kind of felt like a little bit of her innocence and youth kind of was stripped away last episode when she had to learn how to kill a living thing. And we learned about the flowers. We learned that they're vampiric. They drain the blood, keeping the meat a little bit fresher, more preserved. We had a really sad scene where she, you know, learns that Norman and her, you know, kids that she loved, like, they didn't feel pain during this process, and just some, oh god, guys, just some really heartbreaking stuff. But you know, we had Emma kind of taking on this huge mental emotional burden of having to kill a living thing in order to survive and take care of her brothers and sisters and everything, and these kids that she's been entrusted with. And I feel like Emma will never lose what makes her Emma, but it's certainly hard to watch some of that youthfulness and innocence sort of slip away as she has to do what she has to do to get by in this world. And there's, you know, the irony is not lost on me that she has to learn to kill a living thing for food, when this whole thing is about them escaping from a farm. And honestly, I think you can draw the parallel of like the humans kind of sacrificing some of their own, in order to survive. It's when you look at things from the kids' perspective, you can see the hope and beauty in the world. And at other times, you can really see that, man, there's just a lot of sadness and violence in the world that seems almost unavoidable. It's a real crazy balance that they've thrown onto this show, and I think they pull it off really well. So, all right, guys, I was very foolish and did not stock up on tissues, so let's see just how much they can break me in this episode before I have to make a tissue run. What do you say we go ahead and jump into the next episode of The Promised Neverland? Let's go. All right, guys, well, wow. Lots of questions. Again, I'll just reiterate that I'm now concerned that perhaps William Minerva is a demon who wants the kids to be raised naturally so that eventually they are just wild game and can be hunted. I still really love Sonju and Mujika, but definitely we can see that, you know, Sonju's actions were not without ulterior motives. Granted, you know, he doesn't want to harm these children in any way, but he just follows his teachings, and his teachings say if something's in the wild, something's not bred in captivity, you're good, you can eat that. And he looks very hungry for some human meat. Now, granted, that wouldn't happen for a few generations, but that kind of got me thinking about William Minerva. And how, what if that's the situation there too? What if he was one of the people in the facilities? What if he was one of the demons? What if I don't even know, guys. I feel like I'm just letting I feel like he's not a demon. But I can't help but think it now that Sonju mentioned that. I don't know who he is or what his deal is, but the fact remains that help was written in a dark room, looked like it was written in blood in this shelter, which is amazing, by the way. But now I'm wondering, are these the first kids to have escaped and gotten to the shelter? There's a lot of reasons why that may have been written there. I mean, certainly if, let's say that was right, and William Minerva was a demon, or wasn't even a person, was a collection of demons that followed this ancient ideology and wanted these kids to escape so that they could be natural meat. It's been this way for 1,000 years, right? What if this shelter's been around a while and our kids are not the first escapees? What if there were like 3 generations of natural kids in this shelter, and one day the demons just came to have a buffet, and that's why help was written there? It's possible. Or maybe they were found by the demons who run the farm, and that's what that's about. I don't know, guys. But I don't like it. Anytime something good and sweet and pure and wonderful happens on this show, just strap in and know that things are about to get really, really crazy. I definitely need to process this a little bit more before I can come back and have like a more coherent conversation about the episode. But I love so many things about it. I love the wonder and wholesomeness and sweetness of just them finding a place where they can truly live. But I should have known. I really should have known. So, all right, guys. Once again, we have a million different questions open up to us. William Minerva appears to be on the other end of that payphone. I guess we'll see what happens. God, we just can't have anything nice on the show. We can, but boy, do we have many, many, many obstacles ahead of us. So maybe we will be. Halfway through this episode, I was like, gee, guys, we really don't need to get to the human world. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. What's in the human world? You know, it makes you wonder, even if they got to that point, what would even happen then? What would that even look like? Is the human world even doing okay? We really don't. If it's not supposed to be like this world, what if the human side of the world, like, blew itself up or something, you know? I mean, we really don't even know. All right, guys. Crazy episode, great episode. I really hope you enjoyed watching it along with me. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Please, oh God, please be sure to join me next time. We will watch it, get through it, all of the above together. Bye for now, guys.